Uh, hey everyone, welcome to the Starting 11 prediction show for Saturday's early kickoff against Newcastle United at Anfield. 12:30 kickoff. It's your host, Wheelie, Hayden, hoping that you are all well, and thank you for joining me for this preview. It's a beautiful sunny day here. That's partly why my face is lit up in the way that it is. I promise my skin doesn't look this bad, but that's an irrelevancy, I suppose. I think I'm just overthinking it. It feels good, great to be making a video again. It's been a very chaotic and troubling week for really obvious reasons. And it's felt like the entire football family suffered a great deal of panic and anxiety over the last week, and it's certainly changed the relationship we've all had with our clubs, our ownership, and how we perceive football, and in this country and in Europe and its heritage. I know for Liverpool fans, we almost lost. We would have had about 100 odd years of history, decades of unreal success, sort of just withered away and watered down by the fact that we'd be ejected from our league. But perhaps there's time to talk about that more later. But here we go, right? Positivity. It's the first game back since this palaver's happened. And it suddenly means something again. I didn't do any content for the Leeds game because I was planning on doing it, but when the news broke of the league and the breakaway, I basically felt I felt that it wasn't necessary because it just didn't feel like I could process any of it. It's good to have you on board, Aaron. Yeah, like the whole of that day against Leeds, I was sat there. I got my second vaccination, which was great, and I basically sat in a nearby pub and was trying to work out whether I should go home and record content for you, because it was essentially a game where, and had got a new league. It was going to be relevant because we had already guaranteed our place in this new league. Felt very empty. There was nothing really to react to. There was nothing really to preview because, yes, the game was happening, but all of our minds were invested in somewhere else. So off screen, I have the complete list lineup of the squad, and a list of the players that are definitely fit and available for the team. And yeah, I mean, it's possible by the time things roll around tomorrow morning that there are more injuries and that we and that changes the way that we are lining up. But we seem to be in a good patch for once when it comes to injuries and fitness rumors and things like that. So we'll look at some match facts from both Liverpool and Newcastle, and then we'll look at the latest team news, and then we'll reflect on some big questions that we should probably ask ourselves going into this game, and then we'll look at a preview of the starting 11, and then I thought I'd do something on the BBC website. For years, Mark Lawrenson, obviously Liverpool great, has been doing these opinion pieces, previews for games, and score predictions. So I figured we'd incorporate his opinion into this, and then it would end with a prediction, a score prediction. Thanks, mate. For those that don't know, Aaron, my co-host, well, from pre-pandemic times, is in the chat. He says, "Yes, Wheels, you're the man, Wheels. Excited for your shirt too, by the way." Yes, I as an aside point, I ordered a Sporting jersey because they're 4 points clear at the top of the Portuguese league, and I figured that you know, yeah, I think it's just a really nice kit, so I bought it for myself. So yeah, let's get to this because I don't have a huge amount of time. But right, just before we begin, if you haven't already, and if you're new to the channel, please let me know what you think of the content. Drop a like on the video. Remember to press the subscribe button so you know when I go live, and share it around to those you think may be interested. Friends, family, your dog. Yeah, although the dog would be barking mad if he didn't like our content, so that's a problem you should take up with your dog. And I think it's interesting when I do these preview videos. I think it's fun to look back and see who I got right, what I got right, what I got wrong, what errors I made, and have a bit of a laugh about it. So yeah, put your own thoughts and ideas for the team tactics in the comments, and put your own score predictions and squad predictions in the chat, and we'll try and make this a really active conversation as we go on. For me, it's less. This video will go up before the game. It probably won't be. Most of the comments will be seen and addressed in the aftermath of this video. But there you go. So let's look at some match facts. Liverpool haven't lost at home to Newcastle in 24 league matches spanning 27 years. That consists of 20 wins and 4 draws. The goalless draw at the end in the reverse fixture at St James's Park ended a run of 5 successive Liverpool victories against Newcastle. Specifically addressing Liverpool are unbeaten in 4 Premier League matches, winning 3 of them. We had the late goal from Trent, and then we had the and then obviously we've just had the dropping of points to Leeds from Llorente's last-minute header. However, Jurgen Klopp's side could become the first team since Sunderland in 2008 to concede the first goal in 8 consecutive Premier League home games. We have dropped 13 points from winning positions in the league this season, more than their previous 2 campaigns combined. I mean, that could be for dozens of reasons. We've already seen it with bad injury problems this year, and just a lack of inconsistency. I think the pandemic has hit all of us in so many different ways, and it's butchered our team. We've had injuries, yes, but then when players have come back at awkward times, not with the rest of them. All the injured players that don't come back at once, they came back on their own at different times, stagnated, and then some of them would come back and hit form, and then some of them wouldn't, and they were never fit and in form at the same time. So we've struggled. The Reds have lost 6 top-flight home fixtures in a season for the first time since 1953-54. We most recently lost 7 in the we lost 7 in the 1937-1938 campaign. This is also the first time since 1954 that Liverpool have lost as many as 10 competitive matches in a calendar year before the end of April. They last fared worse in 1953 with 12 defeats. Excuse me. Mohamed Salah is 1 goal short of becoming the first player to reach 20 top-flight goals for Liverpool in 3 seasons since Ian Rush did so 4 times in the 80s. That is a huge, huge, huge statement. And I reckon, based on my prediction later, that Salah will get that goal and Salah will win. We'll get that. We'll become the first player to reach 20 top-flight goals for Liverpool. On the Newcastle front, Newcastle are unbeaten in their past 3 matches. They've won 2 of them and drew 1-0. Most recently, they beat West Ham in a dramatic 3-2 victory. That was a really powerful result for them. They had gone 2-0 up, and then they were pegged back to 2-2, and then they scored a last-minute winner from Joe Willock. They had been previously winless in their in the previous. They were winless. Sorry, let me say that again. They were winless in the 7 games prior to that in the league. They could win 3 top-flight fixtures in a row for the first time since November 2018 under Rafael Benitez. Steve Bruce last won 3 consecutive Premier League games in January 2009 during a run of 4 games whilst in charge of Wigan Athletic. Kieran Clark's next Premier League appearance will be the 200th of his career, as well as his 100 in any division for Newcastle. Let's quickly address the latest team news. Liverpool may have Curtis Jones back in contention after a 3-match absence because of a muscle injury. Jones has not featured for Liverpool since the 1-0 defeat to Chelsea on March 4th, going 5 games as an unused substitute before picking up an injury that ruled him out against Villa, Real Madrid, and Leeds. The 20-year-old should be in consideration as Klopp reshuffles his pack in midfield. On the defensive side, Nat Phillips missed Monday night's draw at Leeds with a hamstring strain, which is expected to keep him out again. But if he did come back, it would most importantly allow Fabinho to move back into his natural number 6 position. Gini Wijnaldum dropped deeper at Leeds to allow the Brazilian to partner Kabak in centre-back. On the Newcastle front, Alan Saint-Maximin has recovered from the swollen ankles, which prompted his substitution against West Ham last week. Ryan Fraser and Carl Darlow, who have had respective groin and knee operations and face a few weeks on the sideline. That's sad for them, but obviously good for us. Ryan Fraser always seems to have is a very technical player and is quite talented, so it's good to not have him playing long balls over the top of possibly Phillips and Kabak and things like that. And it's good to not have him on free kicks and stuff like that. And Carl Darlow, I'm right in saying, is a goalkeeper. You know how it is. Substitute goalkeepers always end up having some worldy game against us. So it's good to know that their main keeper's out. On that note, Fabian Schär is close to a comeback from a ruptured knee ligament injury, but Saturday's game may come too soon for that. However, Newcastle have been handed a double injury boost, with Steve Bruce declaring both Callum Wilson and Alan Saint-Maximin are fit for the trip to Liverpool, and that's from the Liverpool Echo. Wilson will be an unreal problem to deal with. He's fast, he's tricky, he's just a great finisher. We should have got someone like him. Klopp was forced to rejig his defence once again at Ellen Road, with Nat Phillips unavailable due to a minor hamstring injury. But like I mentioned earlier, he could be back in contention for the weekend. He was pictured in light training alongside rehabilitation fitness coach David Ridings on Thursday, and if he is able to join the full session the following day, he should be considered for a start. Now, it is important to know that at 1:30, so in about half an hour, Klopp's going to do a press conference and give a full injury update. There was no sign of Diogo Jota in the latest images from Kirkby, but there was no indication that he's injured. Neither Kevin Kelleher or Divock Origi appear to be back. However, and of course, none of Van Dijk, Jordan Henderson, Gomez, or Matip were involved. However, Ben Woodburn remains part of the training squad with fellow under 23s midfielder Leighton Clarkson taking part in the session too. Yeah. So there are a few big questions to ask ourselves, and for this, it's largely rhetorical, I think. Number one, who is our preferred centre-back partnership? Do we stick with Kabak and Phillips if he's fit, or change again? Again, it would be another centre-back partnership, not a new centre-back partnership, but I think we're up already past 18 now. I think we should personally stick with the same squad and same partnership at the back, given the performances recently of Phillips and Kabak, and having this uptick in form recently doesn't just happen to coincide with Fabinho being back in midfield. That's his natural position. We're a much better team when it's like that. With Keita, Thiago, Milner, Gini, and even all able to play the DM role, the other side of this is, well, do we need to bring Fab straight back in after midweek? But I think it's a must. I don't see how we can move forward without him being in that position. And then number three, if Bobby is fit, who should we put up in the front line? Who is your attacking front three for this game? And then I thought I would just run through some key questions before we sort of come to an end here. First of all, will Liverpool score in the first half against Newcastle? Will Liverpool score in the second half against Newcastle? How many goals will be scored? How many goals will be conceded? Will Mane score? Will Salah score? It was great to see Mane score in midweek to break that duck. Will Salah score? If he does, he breaks that record of Rush since Rush. I think Thiago comes into our midfield in this, so I think he might get an assist. And the final one is, will Liverpool beat Newcastle at Anfield? I think we will. I'm always optimistic about our team. You'll see from my prediction in a minute that I think we'll win 2-0. So I think we will. My answer to that question is yes. And I would then pick Alisson, Trent, Robbo, Kabak and Phillips, Fabinho in the DM role, if Phillips is fit, and then Keita or Curtis Jones, and because I don't think Keita's anywhere near it. I think he's so inconsistent, so injury prone that he is just. It would be a very big shock for me to see him come in. And then centre forward Bobby if fit. If not, then Jota will start. I don't think the photos from training are any indication. And then I'd have Salah as usual at right back, at right wing, and Mane at left wing. So just to wrap up here, Mark Lawrenson's opinion. He said, I always thought that Newcastle would get results when they really needed them, and they have done exactly that in the past couple of weeks. The Magpies are not mathematically safe yet, of course, but they are 8 points above third place Fulham, and we're not going to catch them. Liverpool played really, really well in the first half against Leeds on Monday, and sorry, I said midweek earlier, but I meant Monday, and should have scored more than the one goal they managed. In the second half, though, they were really poor and could have conceded a lot more than one. That is a worry, even if you factor in how good Leeds are. So the Reds really need to find some consistency here. My prediction is 2-0. I think Salah will score, and I think Mane will score. I think the confidence from Monday will mean that Mane will have will have a boost in front of goal and might have more confidence to take shots on. And I think Salah will break that record. In other news, it's been confirmed that Liverpool FC captain Jordan Henderson and manager Jurgen Klopp have been nominated in the Football Allies category of the 2021 British LGBT Awards. So yeah, it's a pretty good few days seeing the fans come together and beat the European Super League plan, and then to have Klopp and Henderson coming out at the end of it looking really, really strong and confident and influential, and for them to be awarded, not for that necessarily, but for this the British LGBT Awards. Yeah, it puts a smile on my face after quite a scary week. So thank you all for joining me. I think that's gonna bring this video to an end. Like I said, like, subscribe, put your comments in the section below. Give me your thoughts on score predictions, team lineups. Yeah, and I hope to come back and do a review. Hopefully after a win. So take care, everyone. Enjoy the sun and enjoy the game. Bye bye.